Hey, it's John, and today I wanted to share with you a case study interview I did with one of my online trainer mentorship students. Now, the goal with this interview is twofold. The first is to give you perhaps some inspiration and show you what's possible with a well-functioning online training business. And the second is to give you a little bit of insight into what's involved. Like, how do these things actually work? You know what I'm saying? Everybody talks about, oh, I made this money, I made that money. It's like, cool. What did you do? How are you serving people? How did you get people to talk to? And I can tell you this stuff, Amber and Ren and I can tell you this stuff, but I thought that it would be good to bring you some actual experiences from most students to talk to you about what they do. So have a listen. I hope that this is helpful. I hope that this is inspirational. And thank you so much for listening. I don't take your attention for granted. I really, really appreciate it. Hope you're good. Hope you enjoy this. Hope it helps. Well, welcome back to the Obvious Choice podcast. I'm here with Jeff Santiago, and what I'm really excited about, what we're starting to do is profile coaches that are just doing exceptionally well, because what I found is that there's so much talk about, oh, this coach is successful, oh, they're making money, or their life has changed, or whatever it is, but the conversation usually just stops there. And I've always wondered, well, what are they doing? What does that mean? What are they charging, but also what are they delivering to their clients? And what are some of the things that maybe they struggled with? How do they overcome that? And so wanted to start this series. Jeff, you're the first one we're speaking to. Wanted to start this series of really just profiling phenomenal people that are either finished or still in our online trainer mentorship and talking about what they're doing. So Jeff, good to see you here, man.
Hi, everybody. What a blessing to be invited into this new and cool format.
I love it. Yeah. Where are you located? Where are you at?
I'm in Vienna, Austria, in Europe.
Is that where you're originally from?
No, I am a Filipino, but also my parents are from the Philippines, but I am born and raised here in Vienna.
Oh, you're born in Vienna.
Yeah, born and raised here.
My family's from there, right? Originally.
Really?
Yeah. When my grandfather passed away, we discovered some paperwork. We were like, what the heck is this? Turns out he still owned a building in Vienna that nobody knew about. And so they'd go and, it was basically they had a claim on this building. It wasn't worth
Where
much.
Exactly? Which district? Let me visit it.
God, I don't know. Nah, they don't know. I mean, they sold it. It was like $40,000 or something. It wasn't, wasn't anything. But it was one of those just like, what is? And nobody knew what it said because nobody could speak the language. But anyway, so okay. April 22nd, 2022. You joined the online trainer mentorship. What were you doing before then? Where were you coaching? How were you coaching?
Before then, very important, I wasn't a father. Now I'm a father.
Okay.
And I coached probably, I was a personal trainer predominantly, and then I had a few online clients. Those people, those online clients were the people who moved somewhere else, like when I used to train them in person before. So they wanted still some guidance. So I was doing some of online training, but it wasn't.
But it was kind of I mean, that's a common story. You kind of fell into it where you're an in-person coach and some of your clients are moving away. You're like, I could still work with you, and then you figured it out. But you didn't go out of your way to develop online beforehand?
No. So I was coaching probably 40 sessions, 40 times 60 minutes a week. So it wasn't just 40 hours of work, because you have to, prepare yourself for the session, then programming and so on, and also guidance in between. So probably I worked 60 hours.
Yeah.
And also the weekends, some clients cancel and so on and so on. Yes, that's what I was doing.
So you were with
personal training coach.
So you were with clients 40 hours a week, which easily is 60. I would say it's probably closer to 70 or 80 hours. In between times, waiting for clients and cancellations and prep time and admin and everything.
I have to add, It was great, good money, yes, but I was totally exhausted, and um, I have I have to say that I really didn't take care of myself. I took care of
Wow.
a lot of clients, and I told them what to do. But I myself, I trained once a week. I was just like tired all the time. That was it. Was the main thing.
How old are you now?
I'm 32.
32. So you were 29, 30 around
Hmm.
that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were making good money but just exhausted. Man, that's I connect with that because that's kind of some of my story too. I mean, when I was 23, 24, working in the gym, it was about that. It was 35, 40 hours a
Mm.
week. And if I got myself up to train, I was not training hard. I mean, I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I was too tired.
And the quality of the personal training sessions was not the best because you're always tired, especially
Mm.
the sessions of the 6 a.m. sessions, 5 a.m., 7 a.m. sessions. You're like half asleep
Yeah.
um, because you're not recovered well. And
Okay. So so that's where you were beforehand.
mhm.
So what made you then what was the impetus? Because it sounds like this had been going on for a while. And then in April 2022 is when you joined the online trainer mentorship. But
Mhm.
what made you think about online training? How did you find me? How did that all happen?
I was reading some of your books and was consuming some of your content, and I think a lot of my colleagues were doing online coaching, but they were bodybuilders and they were
Right.
like programming for completely just bodybuilders. But that wasn't my clientele, that was my avatar.
Who's your clientele?
Right now,
Well, who was it back then?
before it was just actually everybody who I trained. It wasn't defined
Mm.
before OTM. It wasn't defined. I'll train everybody. I came from basketball, so a few of the people were athletes, like 10% or so, and 90% were like Gen Pop, worked in the office. Some of them retired, some of them not. So
Right. Okay, so you saw your friends coaching online, but they were basically bodybuilding coaches.
yeah, so giving them calories and
Right.
training
So
program.
what made you then decide that it was time for you to try this thing more seriously?
Actually, what was it? I I think there was a content piece I consumed from you.
Okay.
I don't remember anymore.
Okay.
I don't remember. I answered one of your stories that I really don't remember anymore.
You answered one of the stories on Instagram though.
And
And
then
you said that you have a kid now. When was your son daughter born?
3 months after I joined OTM in June
Oh, okay.
2022.
Joined
Yes,
2022. So that was you were like
yes.
I'm going to be a
Now,
dad. I can't do this for much
yes.
longer, right?
Now I remember. I remember. Thank you. That was it. That was it. Yes, that was it. I was like, hey, I can't be a father, and that's not wealth building wealth for me, and that's not what I pictured because I want to be an involved father. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Yes. Um, and I can't. How can I be there for my kid and for my family if I am gone from 5 a.m. till 10 p.m.?
Oof.
How can you? And then I think that was the push, and maybe I have to transition more and more into online, and also that was the time of lockdowns and COVID still, so a little bit unsure. I had a few months and yeah, months where they closed the gym, so my income was zero
Crazy.
at that point, and those two thoughts, hey, I'm gonna be a father, how can I be there and present, for my family. And the second thing is, what if COVID-19 is still there, and so on? This is not
Right.
reliable.
Or something else, whatever. I think a
Something
lot of
else.
people, I think, even people who weren't taken out by COVID-19, like their business wasn't taken out by it, I think they realized just um, how breakable their business model was.
Hmm.
Maybe it might not be a pandemic next time, but like clearly you got to build something else.
Or just
So some, or you have a kid. I mean, that was a big impetus for me to figure things out better too when I had my first son. So I have here October 2022 is when you did your first launch.
hmm
So you joined the online trainer mentorship in April, and I mean, for anybody who doesn't know, basically, for people who have done a lot of online training before, we have an on ramp program for people who haven't basically built a system or redeem it, and so there's sometimes a little bit more time from when they start because we on ramp them. Whereas some people get going with their launches like much closer to when they join. So October 2022, you did your first launch. Do you remember how much you made from it?
I think it was 13,000 euros.
€13,000.
Yeah, 13,000 euros. And I was shocked because I was before I basically you can either launch or not launch. Yeah, there's that evergreen model or you launch of
Mm-hmm.
OTM before, and I was like, hey, this is working. I don't have to launch.
Right.
But John, my coach, said to me, hey, try to launch. Why not? And I was shocked.
Huh.
I was shocked how many people really reached out and needed help. I posted some content online, but I didn't know that I was reaching that many people. That there are so many, how you say that, lurkers,
Yeah.
and they're watching you. They're watching you, and just asking, "Hey, who needs some help?" You know, I forgot how many clients it was, but I think over 35 people reached out.
Cool. And I bet you a lot of those people were not people who were actively engaging all the time on your content. They
Mm,
were just
no,
watching it, you know.
it was
And that's what I do think. Sure, of course, you could take clients on whenever, but that's such a powerful lesson that you learned was it does make a big difference to have very dedicated periods where you invite people
yeah.
to join you and give them a reason to specifically at that time just to get off the fence.
Mm.
And I, you're not alone in being surprised at how many folks kind of put up their hand and say, yeah, I might be interested. I've been following for 3 years. You're like, why haven't you liked anything? I want more
Yeah,
likes.
exactly, exactly.
And what did you do after that? What did you do after that launch? You took your family on a vacation, didn't you?
Yes, and a couple of vacations actually, a couple
Well,
of
what was
vacations.
the one right after that launch? So you did that first launch, and that the first launch is always a really fun time because I find that's the point where people kind of think they're like, "Oh shit, I can do this. Like it's
Hmm.
possible." Like you do, you know, online training is such an interesting thing because we hear about it so much, and we hear people talking about how they're doing well with it, but nobody really said. And then you do it for yourself, and it's like you did 13,000 euros. It's like, oh, I'm one of those guys now. You know what I'm saying?
It's completely crazy because my income before that, it was less than, I don't know, 800 euros a month from online,
Right.
and then I did that basically in one launch, which means I enrolled them in 1 month, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow. Then we went on a trip. We went to the mountains and enjoyed ourselves with my dog and my son Kyle, and I was just thankful for her. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
What a cool moment, man. What a cool moment. So I want to know what you're delivering to people. So
Oh,
you this is the part that I feel like is often missing from these types of conversations is Okay, cool. You know, what are you actually charging, and then what are you delivering to them? What are they
Mhm.
signing up for? Like, are you open to kind of sharing the structure?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay,
So
so let's start at the top. What are you charging? What are your packages cost
my 12-week program is 2,100 euros, so 2,100 euro
for 12 weeks?
for 12 weeks.
And then
Exactly.
can people continue on from that?
Yes.
What's that?
And then 4,200 euros, so double that, is the legacy program, which is a complete year of coaching.
Got it.
Yeah.
So 2,100 for 12 weeks, and then they can continue on for another year for 4,200 for
Yes.
the coaching, which I kind of like. Coaching often is very front ended when you work with a client. A lot of
Yes.
the ongoing work once the client is doing well is not to say that it's not work, not to say you should stop working like hard on that person, but often they've overcome a lot of the major barriers and
Yep.
you're in a bit of a flow. Okay, so what are they getting? So when they sign up, walk me through. You're on the phone with somebody,
Mhm.
and they say, "Jeff, I'm down, man. This sounds awesome."
Mhm.
They
The
pay
first
you.
step, yeah,
What happens? What happens next?
the first step is really, really finding the why. That's
Mm,
most of the time, 50% of the journey. Are
yeah,
really what you want to accomplish, why, and not some surface level stuff where, hey, I just want to get in shape and look good for the summer. I want to, we dig deep for 1.5 hours. What is your real why? And what have you
on the
been
phone.
struggling
So
with?
you have like this is like a very in-depth onboarding call where you're going deep with them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And then we clarify what were the struggles, and I also tell them, hey, as a coach, I'm by your side, and we will struggle a lot, and I need you to, I'm communicating that very clear, I need you to tell me and communicate with me, because it's pretty easy to communicate, hey, I lost this, and then this is working, and so
right.
on and so on. But I'm really hands on and tell them, hey, if it's not working, really tell me, because those struggles we have to solve. And the struggle means you don't have the skills yet. And if you tell
Mm,
me where the struggles are, we can learn, and I'll tell you what to do to get those skills. And also, so you know what to do after the coaching. So you know what
right.
to do alone, because you've been struggling for a reason.
So they finish this call. So who's let's go back to the type of clients that you work with online.
Mhm.
Do you have a specific avatar that you work with?
Yeah, help parents. Help parents
Okay,
get in shape.
cool, beautiful. So you have this long phone call. Then what
Mhm.
happens?
We on board. I'll tell them how my system works. I'll clarify what you have to do to lose weight, and
Hmm.
how's the trainings program. After that, I'll send them a basic assessment training. Um, they have to do the basic assessment training on their own. They send me the videos
I was going to say that's
according,
movement assessments.
yeah, movements or like movement
Cool.
patterns and so on. They're like, yeah, basic movement patterns they have to do. Then they have to film themselves. They're gonna send it to me, send them. They're gonna tell me also what their specific goals are, if they want to focus more on the legs or this or that. That's then on my part. We'll do the programming. Then we have another call where we go through the trainings plan and also strategize nutrition and so on and so on.
Love it.
Oh yeah, I
So you
forgot
build their
to.
plan. So okay, they sign up. You do a very in-depth phone call to really dial in their why.
Mhm.
Then you send them movement assessments. They send me videos on these. Once they send you that back, that's when you build the plan. You
Exactly,
deliver it to them and go over it with them. And the plan
exactly.
is the plan for the entire 12 weeks, or do you send them like 30 days at a time? How do you build that out?
No, it's we have also checkup calls,
Yeah,
and if they have to change something else because some of my clients are traveling and so on, we're gonna
right.
change it up. But usually, we're changing it up every 6 weeks.
Cool.
Sometimes I don't because they tell me, hey, that's cool, it works, and that's fine for me.
Yeah, beautiful. And so they're doing both nutrition
And
and
training,
fitness and
yes.
training. What type of nutrition do you do with them? Do you do macros and
Yeah,
stuff?
I
What do
do
you do?
macros. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
with the basic assessment, make basic movement training. I'll send them also a food diary, just a
Mm,
rough documentation of their nutrition. And then according to that, I'll send them their macros. And also with the second call, we talk over what you could implement as a breakfast, what's better for you, how much fiber you need, how much protein
cool.
you need, and also some struggles with that. And then yes.
I love it. Yeah, it seems like you've got a really good finger on the pulse of kind of the specific like places where they're going to fall off or where they're going to
Mhm.
have issues.
Yeah, I
A
like to have
breakfast is
more
always one.
calls with them and really and listen, hey, what's going on right now. And I think you can do that absolutely with delivers a lot of
So, what's
high
your day to
quality.
day like now? So, are you still working in the gym at all?
Yes, because I like it. I like
Yeah,
it. And some of my clients are here in Vienna, some online clients.
cool.
So some of them they want and need a personal training, but actually, I'm doing that only on Wednesdays for probably 5 sessions.
Love that.
Um, I have 5 sessions a week, and yes. Other than
You have
that,
the, I mean, you have the choice to that's so beautiful to hear that because what you've done is you've given yourself the freedom to design what aspects of this you love or you don't love. It's not about escaping now.
Mhm,
It's about, hey, how can I serve these people best? But also, how can I fill up my cup in all these different ways? Like
mhm,
a lot of coaches who work in person, when they go online, they realize they don't enjoy the online full time, even though it has all of these benefits. And that you've kept some of the in person stuff to kind of fill you up and energize you that way, I think is really, really great. And you might decide at one point that you don't want it and you want to travel or whatever it is, but you can make that decision later.
yeah. One thing about making more money, better money, is you can choose also the people you want to train in person. And as a personal trainer, sometimes you take, unfortunately, you take some clients who are like, actually, this takes energy from me, and
Right.
but you take it because sometimes you have to, you know.
So, so what's your day to day like on days when you're just not Wednesdays? Wednesdays,
Mhm.
I know you're in the gym a bit. What's your day to day like? Well, I guess today's Wednesday, but we're recording this tomorrow. What's your day going to be like?
Tomorrow, I'm gonna train, and then
What time?
I'm gonna probably wake up around 6:30
Okay,
without an alarm clock or 7, something like that. Then I'm gonna train with my employee at around 8 at a gym close by, and then I'll bring my son to the kindergarten.
okay.
That's very very important for me. And then I'll
To
work.
be there for the drop off. You mean?
Yes, and also
Yeah,
pick him up. Also pick him up,
yeah.
and
That's
that's
great.
I don't know, freedom for me. And then I'll work on some systems on my business and some on posting stuff and content, and then we'll go for dinner. Thursday
Beautiful.
is a slow day, but the busy days are Mondays, Tuesdays. Yes.
And that's when you do the calls, Mondays and Tuesdays. Is that what you said?
Tuesdays I'll do the calls, a lot of
Yeah.
calls. Thursday, some of the calls if some people need some, and on Mondays I'll do the check-ins. So
Nice.
my clients send me they fill out a form every Sunday, so I know how the week was and so on, and
Oh, cool.
I'll answer them every Monday.
You mentioned you had an employee. What do they do with you?
I have 3 employees, so
Okay.
2 employees who are doing content with me,
Mm.
And actually tomorrow I have a content session. We're gonna shoot some stuff. Yes, we're gonna shoot some stuff. I have to look at my calendar. That's why. Then I know what I have to do. And also a person who is helping me with DMs.
Cool. And so, if you don't mind sharing, then what are you making? I mean, we talked about October 2022. You know, that
Mhm.
first launch you did 13,000. What's kind of your monthly? What are you making now?
I some months are more, some months are less. But if I have to do it in quarters, it's between 20 to 25,000 a quarter.
Okay, cool. So
Depends,
it's
some months you launch, some months you don't launch. So, that's why it's
what?
around 20 to 25,000 a
So
quarter.
it's 100 and a bit
Yeah.
over the year.
I mean, haven't. I mean, 2022 wasn't a full year with OTM, and
Mm.
2022 was, I think, 90,000 something. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, sure, cool. What do you think? I mean, if you never did OTM, then what do you think your life would be like now?
Uh, I have to reflect a little bit, because I enjoy the time with my family a lot, and that's wealth for me. I know making money is beautiful, building the business is beautiful, and helping people is beautiful. But the most important part for me, and I recognize, is being there with my family. And before, I was always tired, and I changed also because I am more chill now. I'm thinking, I can think because
Mhm.
my energy level is where it should be. Maybe, I'm pretty sure, Jonathan, you felt it too. Sometimes you're extremely exhausted and you're on autopilot, and what we are doing is, thinking, and if you're completely exhausted, you can't think, and you can't create better systems. And also, how could I say that, and also improving your philosophies and how you think about relationships and so on. That's kind of became very important for me, and I can do that because I have the time, and which is actually creating more wealth because you're thinking about deeper problems you can solve, which creates better businesses and so on.
Mhm.
And I haven't had that before. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but I think as a coach, or as coaches, we try to solve problems in a better and easier way. And you can only do that if you have the time to think and you're not exhausted. And I really was exhausted, and before. And I think I'm super grateful. I'm really super grateful I stumbled. Um,
Hmm.
um,
If somebody was thinking about doing the mentorship then, and they weren't quite sure of it, but they're in the same type of situation as you are, they're super busy in person, maybe they're about to have a kid, what would you say to them?
in the internet, you hear a lot of sound bites what could work and so on. But in the OTM mentorship, they told me exactly and clear what I had to do to move forward and to earn more and to systemize everything. And it was just a clear action plan what I had to do. And that action plan and that created that life I'm living right now. And if you want to, if you want to create more freedom, it's the right thing. And I was very hesitant in the beginning. I think I had 3 or 4 calls with Daniel.
Jeff, thank you for sharing, man. This is super fun. It's fun to get to know you a little bit better.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for having me.
we'll talk again soon, dude. Appreciate
Hey,
you.
thank you, Jonathan.
You got it.
Amber here. Thanks for listening in. The coach featured in this case study is from Jonathan's online trainer mentorship, where we take anyone doing from $1,000 to $20,000 a month or more and help them scale up. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in learning more about, please DM the word mentor to Jonathan on Instagram at It's Coach Goodman. If you're looking for another episode to listen to right now, I'd recommend episode 169, Becoming the MS Home Renovation Guy. Jonathan walks us through his conversation with a construction scientist who is building a consultancy business that needs guidance on what direction to go in. In this episode, you'll learn about researching the perfect profitable niche, building a marketing plan to get clients, and looking for additional income stream opportunities. Again, that's episode 169, Becoming the MS Home Renovation Guy. Thanks again for listening in, and we'll catch you next week.